Hi, I'm V. Today I thought I'd share the basics around how to get sound from this into this. For those that know me, I'm on a bit of a mission to keep on progressing as a guitar player and to keep myself out of guitar plateaus. One of the things I've been focusing on is recording and getting good tone from my guitar into a video that I could share on YouTube, of course. This has been quite a learning curve for me. That's been quite rewarding, but also quite frustrating at times. So I thought today I'll just share the basics of what I've learned so far. When it comes to recording music into your laptop or your PC, whatever it is, or your phone, digitizing it, what you're trying to do is really convert sound from analog into a digital sound that either a phone or a laptop or whatever it might be can understand. All of our phones, laptops, they tend to have microphones inbuilt, so the simplest way to do it is really just to turn on your computer or chuck on your phone and just record directly from there. And that's certainly the way I was playing around with it for a while when I was just testing things out and just trying to record myself so I can listen back and critique kind of what I'm playing. What I have found when I've been trying to get better quality sound out of the guitar is you really need a couple of other things to make it work really well. The first thing is having installed on your laptop or your computer a DAW, or a digital audio workstation is what it stands for. The second thing is having an audio interface, which really takes the place of what your computer or your phone would do and converts the sound from analog into digital, but it also boosts the sound as well. So it adds just a little bit more clarity when you're recording it into. I don't know the technical stuff around it, but that's kind of what I get the gist of. So I have tried a couple. So I've tried this Audient ID14. This is the one I currently use, which I really, really like. And I've also tried the tried and tested, which is recommended by a lot of people, the Focusrite Scarlett 212. They're both really good. You can't go wrong with either. Look, I would say, of course, do your own research, have a look around if you haven't got a audio interface already, and just see what works for you. The reason why I chose this one, why I updated from the Scarlett to this one, is because I wanted to be able to record sound from my computer. So playback sound on my computer and record that as I was playing. So I actually don't use that very often, so I don't really need it, but that's one of the reasons why I got it. And also I watched a really cool video of someone who is, I don't know exactly what he does, but he's like a sound expert, sound engineer, and he was going through just little sound tests, and this one came up pretty high, hence why I got it. So that's the main ingredients: your guitar into your audio interface, and then into your DAW. From there, there's a few different options on how you could connect your guitar into your audio interface or get the sound, the analog sound, into the digital realm. So option one is really just to plug your guitar straight into your audio interface and into your DAW. From there, you can shape your tone using plugins. I really like the Cory Wong archetype of the Neural DSP. So I use that one quite often. Or you could use the audio effects that's actually in your DAW to shape your sound. So things like adding compression, adding reverb, adding delay, whatever it is that you want to add onto it. It's up to you. I don't use that one quite often. I do like to use it for acoustic, but not so much for electric. Electric, I tend to use a plugin, or my current preferred way, which is a little bit different. The second way is rather than plugging your guitar straight into your audio interface, you could use your amp. So just plug it into your amp and play how you normally play. From there, you will need to get something to record from the amp into the audio interface, and you need one of these, like a microphone, something like these ones here. I don't really use that option very often, mainly because there's a lot of wires and setup to do whenever I do it. I definitely prefer easy as possible in my world, so direct input into the audio interface is what I tend to do most of the time. Now you can do it where you put something in between your guitar and your audio interface, so you could put your pedals in between, so you could plug your guitar into your pedal board or pedals and then chuck it into your audio interface. You can do that as well, which I have done in the past. The other way you could do it is you could get something like an amp modeler. And that's actually the way I'm playing around with a lot at the moment. So those who are familiar with the things I've been playing around with so far you'll know that I'm using this PodGo a lot. So the way that I'm using this one is the guitar plugs in directly into the PodGo. PodGo plugs into the audio interface, but it also plugs into my computer because then I can control and shape the tones in the computer itself. Now, one thing that was really frustrating when I used this for the first time, which if anyone encounters this, here's a bit of a tip. When I had this plugged in to the USB, as well as the audio interface, I was getting a really terrible hum. Now, it wasn't the hum that you would normally get from a Stratocaster, which also drives me a little bit crazy sometimes. So that was really frustrating me. I couldn't figure out what it was doing, and for a really long while, I wasn't actually using the PodGo that way just because I hated the sound of the hum in the background. But then what I discovered is you can actually get what they call a hum eliminator. Now this is fantastic. So what you do is you plug your PodGo or you plug your guitar, whatever it is, into the input of this, and then you get the output going into your audio interface, and that just cancels out the hum. So that has been really good. Now you might be wondering, well, you've plugged it into USB already, why don't you use this as like your audio interface, which you can do. So the PodGo you can just plug in and your DAW can pick up the sound from this. You don't necessarily need the audio interface to kind of get in between and translate everything. But what I did find was when I just plugged into this via USB, it just sounded really, I don't know, it just didn't sound great. It sounded kind of like muffled or just low. It didn't sound very good. So I just prefer it going into the audio interface. It just sounds a lot better. So what I'll do now is I'll show you how I've actually got everything kind of plugged in together. I won't go in depth on how to use the DAW or anything like that at this point in time. Just kind of want to show you the ingredients of the essential things that you need to start recording your guitar into your computer. So this is how I'm set up at the moment. I've got my guitar, which is plugged into my PodGo, which is then heading into my hum cancelling doodacky, my audio interface, computer, and then into my DAW, of which I prefer to use Ableton Live. Hopefully you found that helpful. I do plan to record more of these because I am a big believer that as I'm progressing my journey as a guitar player and looking to improve my skills, I think that recording and learning how to record and find good tone is pretty important as well. I do know that tone does come from the hands, so it all comes from your technique, the feel that you're putting into it, all of that kind of good stuff. And I'm working on it, but let's face it, like all the great guitarists and all the great bands had sound engineers or had producers kind of following them around. So I do think that kind of getting my head around how to record well is pretty important. Look, if you like this video or if you found it useful, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.